Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second game of the doubleheader here from the Kingdome in Halifax. We have the UKC Blue Devil men going head-to-head with the UNBSJ Seawolf men. My name is Braden Redshaw. I'm on your play-by-play. Alongside me, Dylan Alec on the color and Maria Collins on the camera. Dylan, what are we expecting today?
We're expecting a close game. Two teams closer to the bottom of the standings, but not to say it's not going to be a good game. And, the Blue Devils took it to the very end in the last home game here in the Kingdome against the defending champion Mystics. If they can play up to that level, they're absolutely going to win this one. Look for Sandreas Clayton to put in a big shift for the Blue Devils in this one.
Yeah, Clayton joined the team in second semester here, and he's made an impact on the offensive and defensive ends. Kings, back from the road trip to Crandall, took a 10-point loss yesterday, looking to bounce back and pick up a win on the weekend here. We will be back with you with your starters in just a few minutes here. And Dylan, why don't you take it away with the starters for both sides today?
The starting lineup for the visiting Seawolves: number 4, Ethan Schmerda; number 5, Aiden Connors; number 6, Austin Brunn; number 9, AJ Nash; number 13, Adam Lambert for the home Blue Devils; number 7, Brendan Morris; number 9, Sandreas Clayton; number 11, Ethan Merlin; number 12, Jivon Yonde; and finishing it off, it's number 14, Corson O'Rourke.
Tip-off just moments away here. It's John Day versus Brunn. And Brunn wins it down, but Clayton's the one who picks it up here. Quickly to Merlin, inside to O'Rourke. Morris tried to throw it into John Day, gets it back off the shoulder. John Day on the drive. Going up against 2 and draws the contact, and he's heading to the line. It's good to see Jivon be aggressive out of the gates here. And that's on 6, Brunn. He's a big shot blocker in the league. John Day makes both. And King's up in a man-to-man pressure here. Here's Lambert. Ball here now with Nash going against O'Rourke. Schmerda gets called on the travel. Merlin here against Nash. Hand off to John Day. O'Rourke looking for options, gets it to Clayton. Clayton on the drive, no good. Morris is there on the cleanup crew, no good either. Lambert comes away with it. Lambert all the way to the rim, can't get it through contact. Clayton down the other end. All the way, Brunn meets him up top. And the ball's gonna go with the Seawolves. Like previously mentioned, Austin Brunn, one of the best in the league at meeting people at the top. Ball here with Brunn now. Nash, foot on the line. Can't hit it, Jivon pulls it down.
Yeah, some good looks early for the Seawolves, but they just can't get that ball to fall.
John Day tosses it to Morris. Morris against Brunn now. Skip past Merlin. Clayton, 3. He's got that one to go. Sandreas Clayton from deep.
You know, and we said to watch for him early in this one, and a good start for Clayton, a big 3 there.
Here's Connors. Schmerda. Lambert against Merlin going inside. No good that time. Merlin looking to extend the lead here. Gets it to O'Rourke. Clayton, another 3. Back rim, no good that time. Lambert pulls it down. Brunn, he's gonna pull it from deep. Rims out that time as well, so both teams exchanging misses from behind the arc.
Yeah, and another good look for the Seawolves. Ball's really just not falling here early.
John Day. 2-man game with Merlin now. O'Rourke, he's gonna pull a 3. And it almost went in there for O'Rourke, but meanwhile, on the other end, Lambert runs into Clayton. Didn't drop his arms, no foul. Merlin met up top by Schmerda. Merlin gets the block up top against Aiden Connors. Morris, good kick. Clayton, corner 3. Can't hit. O'Rourke's there, tapped out by Schmerda.
It was a really nice play there by Brendan Morris. You know, we oftentimes see guys doing a good job of that, taking it hard to the lane, drawing in the defenders, but then, you know, trying to force something over the defender. Instead, Morris finds Clayton open, and although that one didn't fall, if they keep hitting Clayton with those open looks, he will start getting them to go, and he does already have a 3 in this one.
And I don't think you realize how monumental this was. Corson O'Rourke.
Well, I know.
Ilya would be proud. He finally shot a 3 in game. It looked good out of his hand. It came up short, though.
Yeah, not exactly known for his outside shooting ability, but yeah, it was a good look from O'Rourke. And I think both teams have got good looks on either side here around the perimeter, but they really just can't get that ball into the basket.
If you want to talk about guys who are in the gym constantly working on their shot, no better example than Corson O'Rourke. If you ever show up to the Kings gym throughout the day, you'll notice he's here, always working to get better outside of practice, inside of practice. Hopefully we get to see Corson step outside and shoot a little bit more of those. I know he can hit them.
Yeah, and the workhorse for the Blue Devils. He is every single game, and no one outworking Corson O'Rourke.
Leads the league in rebounding, and I believe he's top 5 in the country as well.
Yeah, not a surprise.
Merlin looking inside, gets it to O'Rourke. Going up against Lambert here, lost it on the way up. Here comes Brunn. Schmurda sends it over to Nash. Schmurda can't hang on underneath. Gets it back. Rennie did a good job to stay in there. But finally, UNBSJ break the ice. O'Rourke gets it over to Morris. Morris on the drive. Perfect find to Clayton on the cut. Comes up short. Everything but the finish that time around for Clayton. Meanwhile, on the other end, Lambert left it on the doorstep.
Yeah, a couple really good opportunities getting missed both ways. It was a nice line there run by Clayton through the key. And then coming the other way, the Seawolves have a great opportunity, but just can't get that one to fall.
Here comes Morris. Looking for the double screen action here. Rennie, 3-ball off the left, and O'Rourke rips it away from Nash. Goes up against Brunn and scores. Corson O'Rourke.
Yeah, and there's that rebounding ability you talked about, Braden. No one does it better than Corson O'Rourke.
He's never the biggest guy, but he certainly is the quickest. And Rennie stood his ground quite well, but the foul's going to come before on Brendan Morris.
Yeah,
I think if Morris let him go, that's an offensive foul.
Probably, but just you mentioned there about Corson O'Rourke, not the biggest guy, and he isn't. He's not the tallest, but he does work harder than everybody else. He goes up harder for that ball than everybody else, and it's why he's one of the best rebounders in the country.
Absolutely. Brunn hits the second one, so 7-4 Blue Devils. Merlin looking for the double action now. Rennie off to Clayton. Clayton with the fancy maneuver, and Schmurda does end up throwing it off Merlin. There's a struggle to secure it, but it ended up working out.
Yeah, heads up play there from Schmurda to keep possession of that one.
And Xavier Buckley's back in. As we know, Buckley was dealing with injuries coming back, but he's back for the Blue Devils now.
Yeah, and he can be a real big player here for the Blue Devils. Big for him to be back.
And Ethan Brownsy getting some early first quarter minutes here. An issue with the shot clock. Connors gets it into Brunn. Brunn going against Brownsy. Brownsy, one official has travel, one has foul. And they do end up going with the foul call.
Yeah, and you hear the call from the Blue Devils bench. Brownsy, get your hands up. Might have gotten away without a foul there. Might have been a travel call there if he had got those hands up.
Well, it definitely would have been. The baseline official had the travel call ready. Sideline official had the foul call ready. They discussed, they went with the foul. Bruin makes the second as well, so lead down to 1 here for the Blue Devils. Maryland against Nash. And Nash is going to pick up the foul running through the screen.
Yeah, nice job by Brownsy just to get the feet set and take that contact on the other side. Pretty undisciplined there from AJ Nash just to barrel over him. Don't know what he was thinking on that one.
Buckley. Maryland looking for an option. He's going inside here, trying to dump it inside. Said it's Buckley against Brun here. And good hand by Buckley, 2-on-1 the other way. And they get AJ Nash on the block. He was going down very early there.
Yeah, I think the right call there. That's a couple of undisciplined plays back to back by AJ Nash that are gonna give free trips or just give 3 fouls away to the Blue Devils. And this time it's a trip to the line.
I mean, even to the naked eye, you could see Nash was going down way earlier than before Rennie even made the Euro.
Oh yeah, he was clearly trying to draw that one. It was definitely not a great attempt to maybe avoid some of the contact, but you know, Caleb Rennie coming down the floor really drew that from Nash.
Connors gets it up to Lambert. Lambert against Brownsy. Schmerda pull up. And he gets that one to go. 3 ball. Lead stays at 1. Buckley now. Taking the screen from Brownsy. Corner kick, Merlin, 3 ball, no good. Brownsy with the offensive rebound. Merlin tees it up again, can't hit it either. Clayton pulls it down. Buckley. And they get Merlin on the travel.
Yeah, a bit of a tough call there if you're Merlin, but nonetheless, it's going to be SJ ball.
Good hustle by the Blue Devils, though, keeping the possession alive twice.
Yeah, and you know, that rebounding is so critical, especially in this conference.
And Brownsy meets Bruin up top. 4-on-3 for the Blue Devils. Rennie slows it down. Ed Brownsy calling for it under the rim.
Yeah, nothing really much Caleb Rennie can do there. Needs to get some help, needs another option there. Saw he was trying to call his players around, but that's unfortunate.
Sometimes your first thought is the best decision. I think he saw Brownsy going, but he hesitated. And that's when you let the defense gather. Lambert up top now. Gives it over to Brun. Areola looking on the drive. Rennie stands tall, and the ball going to stay with the UNBSJ Seawolves. Connors gets it into Schmerda. Connors tees one up from the corner, straight and true.
Yeah, that's a big shot for the Seawolves to put them ahead for the first time.
Aiden Connors, big 3 there. Buckley coming the other way. Kicks it over to Crocker. Morris gets one in the air. Tried to go underneath to Rennie, but Brun flying in gets a hand on it. Morris looking for options, gets it to Rennie in the corner, 10 to work with. Rennie all the way, leaves it on the doorstep left-handed. Connors back-to-back, no good, and Areola gonna get called on the over-the-back foul.
Yeah, and just another undisciplined foul going against the Seawolves, you know. Clearly boxed out by Rennie is Areola, and yeah, just takes a foul that they don't need to take again, 94 feet away from their own basket.
And Andrew DeGurga DeRuga, I should say, back in for the Blue Devils. And Ewan Robertson, first-year guard, is in for the Seawolves as Rennie hits the fall-away three.
Yeah, nice job there. Some quick ball movement to catch and shoot from Rennie.
Connors with Buckley tightly on him. Buckley still hounding him, and they're going to get Rennie on the block on the sideline. It's only Rennie's first. Both team, UNBSJ have 14 fouls, UKC at 3. Robertson. Brun, backdoor to Areola. DeGurga, good hands. And ball's going to stay with the Blue Devils. Buckley tried to feed it through to Morris. They get it to Morris up top. 3-ball. Banks open on Sundays tonight as well. Brendan Morris with a deep 3. Connors now up top. Brun, he'll try his luck at a 3. In and out. Schmerda with the offensive board. And Crocker tips it out of bounds. Connors was looking for Brun on the back cut.
Big play there by Schmerda to keep possession going for the Seawolves.
Connors looking for options. Buckley gets a good hand to the pass. And here comes Rennie. DeRuga, good screen. Rennie all the way in, can't finish. It's been the story of the game for both sides. Can't finish the layups. Robertson 3, short. And ball on the floor, Morris picks it up. Here he comes, Brendan Morris, Euro step. Off to Rennie, gets 2 in the air, draws the contact, and he's going to the line for 2.
Really nice play there by Caleb Rennie, you know, gets the defenders up and then jumps, I think, knowing that he's going to draw the foul.
Yeah, he's still frustrated with himself. He feels like he's left 6 points on the board here for his team, missing 3 layups.
Yeah, and, you know, a couple tough layups, but I can tell you, if Rennie just keeps doing what he's been doing, getting those layup attempts, they will start to go, and he's going to get some big points for the Blue Devils. So, yeah, he just really needs to stick with it.
Yeah, and Alp Osgoren checks in, and Sandreas Clayton waiting to come in. And Rennie does hit the free throw, so it's 18-12. Kings are in the bonus here now. Here's Areola. Gets it up to Schmerda. Connors looking for screen action. Dumps it inside. Beautiful 2-man game between Connors and Thier. Clayton over to Osgoren. Morris. Back to back, no good. Here comes Schmerda up to Connors. Nobody around him. Straight and true again. Aiden Connors for 3.
Yeah, and a good job by the Seawolves to cut that deficit here. Still time left to take the lead back.
Morris now. Off the screen from DeRuga. Crocker kicks it. Morris on the drive. Lost it on the way through, and Morris is going to the line for 2.
Yeah,
Ewan Robertson picks up the foul there on the reach-in.
Yeah, and I don't think Seawolves head coach Peter Vincent's too impressed with that call, but it is a type of call that you're going to get when you get into foul trouble early.
Morris with 1 to go here. 21.1 seconds on the shot clock, or on the game clock. Shot clock's off. Morris does get the second to go. Robertson Off to Connors. Connors looking for the last shot here. To the rim. Skips it out. Schmerda for 3. Can't hit. Crocker's got 2. Throws it up. No good. Hits the back of the rim. First quarter ends quite tight, 19-17.
Yeah, and both teams really struggling on offense here in the first. Layups that just seem to kind of hold up on that rim for a bit, in and outs. Neither team really able to get going offensively, but I think some good takeaways for both teams, and a lot of it too is just shots not falling. I think in particular for the Seawolves, who have got a lot of really nice looks from the outside. That last shot from Schmerda comes to mind. But yeah, it's tough when the ball is just not falling.
Yeah, and both teams missing some easy looks at both close range from 3. Having a little bit of trouble getting going, but we know once both of them do go, and we will have a good game on our hands. Not to say that this isn't a good game here.
No, but I think I think that once both teams get going, it's really going to become a shootout. Both teams really seem to be on the verge of breaking out offensively. They're getting good looks, but again, that ball's just not falling, and a part of that has to do with some good contests for it from the defense, not giving away those easy looks. But this game very well might come down to which team is able to start hitting those shots earlier than the other.
Blue Devils coming to the break with Clayton, Crocker, Morris, Deruga, and Osgorin. Seawolves come out with Connor, Thier, Robertson, Schmerda, and Areola. It's Connors with the ball. Schmerda. Crocker picks it off. Gives it to Clayton. Osgorin now. Looking for the screen from Deruga. Osgorin driving middle, kicks it out. Clayton wide open for 3. And Deruga's gonna pick up the push foul underneath. It's only his first, but it's an early foul against the Blue Devils. Connors gets it over to Areola. Clayton picks his pocket, and Clayton gonna get called on the travel there. Tried to slow himself down, ended up moving that pivot foot. Ball into Connors, and Schmerda gets it back right away. Osgorin picks up Connors. He's got him tight. Underneath, beautiful pass to Schmerda to tie it up. Crocker, pull up 3. He's got that one to go. Josh Crocker.
Yeah, big 3 there, and that's the type of basket that the Blue Devils want to get to start falling more.
Clayton pressing up on Connors now. Deruga helping him out. Clayton picks up Schmerda, and he's going to pick up the touch foul up top.
Yeah, and Clayton got into foul trouble late in the Mystics game. Taking him off the floor in some crucial moments, he's going to have to try and be a little bit more disciplined in this one, and Luke Stevenson takes him off after that one.
Right now it's only his first, but we will see him very soon. Schmerda going against Merlin. Pull up, got it. Good move by Ethan Schmerda there. Takes it within 1 for the Seawolves. Dumped inside to Deruga against Thier. Goes for the hook, and it's a good move by Andrew Deruga. Robertson looking for help. Merlin couldn't corral it. Robertson does a good job to keep it. Thier going up against a couple and called on the travel. Here comes Morris now. Inside to Deruga again, he's going to work. The big man from Newfoundland going to work down low, Andrew Deruga.
Yeah, good job by Deruga to just identify that mismatch and just puts it right over the defender for an easy 2.
Areola pull up no good. Boxed out by Merlin. Pushed up to Osgoran here. Osgoran looking for options, slips. Does keep it alive. Skipped out top, Crocker. He's gonna pull a deep one here. Crocker again from deep.
Back-to-back threes and crucial points for the Blue Devils in the game where both teams are struggling offensively.
Absolutely, and Crocker turning it up right now. Connors down the other end to match him. Straight and true again. Looking inside to Deruga again here against Thier. Crocker going to work against Areola. Kicks to the curl. Merlin driving in, no good. Gonna get his own miss though. And Schmurda taps it out of bounds. And an applause from his coach as he's going off the floor. Deruga played very well in that first shift.
Yeah, picking up some crucial points for the Blue Devils.
Here's O'Rourke now. Crocker got Areola in the air. Called on the travel.
Yeah, ref says he's got the feet moving before the dribble. Tough one there for Crocker. It was a good idea though after hitting those 2 threes to use that pump fake, draw on the defender and drive in, but yeah, just gets called on the travel.
And Bruns checked back in for the Seawolves as well. Crocker. That's a 3 that comes up really short from Lance Keddy. First year forward just checked into the game. Rennie's checked back in for Osgoran. O'Rourke looking for it inside against Keddy. O'Rourke fighting for it and keeping it alive. O'Rourke went up against 2 and he still would have won it. And Luke Stevenson wants a timeout.
Yeah, and not too much more to separate these 2 teams than when we went to break after the first quarter. And I think the same thing. It's just needing to hit those shots, getting them to go, and whichever team can do that better is ultimately going to win this one. You know, some really big points coming from back-to-back threes from Josh Crocker.
Yeah, it's good to see Crocker and Deruga get their confidence rolling early here.
Yeah,
both of them key guys off the bench. And right now they're both giving Luke Stevenson a reason to keep him on the floor.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, for the Blue Devils, getting that scoring from throughout your lineup is really big, something that they've struggled with as long as I've been around this program, quite frankly, which has been, 4 years now. But it's actually really popped out to me more than it has previously about just the contributions they've been getting from throughout their bench.
O'Rourke against Keddy now. Takes him right inside, and they're going to get Keddy on the floor for the foul. It's hard to stop a man like Corson O'Rourke. Ball quickly to Buckley here, turning the corner. Merlin to Rennie. Gets it up over the top of Connors, almost connects. Brun gets it out to Lambert. Brun thought about the three. Lambert's thinking about it too. Drive in, Adam Lambert. Good hand by Crocker to force the turnover. And here comes Buckley. Two-man game with O'Rourke. Trying to go down low. O'Rourke's against Connor now. They spin, looking for help. Does get it out to Merlin, but Merlin's got 7 to work with. On the reverse layup, no good. Schmerda pulls it down. And the Seawolves come into the front court. Keddy pull up, no good. O'Rourke pulls it in. Rennie. Through a crowd of defenders, he still has it somehow. And gets a close shot to go. Buckley picking up Lambert full court now. Here's Brun. Thought about another three there. Keddy, he's gonna pull a deep one here off the backboard and rim. And that's gonna be a foul against Buckley.
Yeah, and that's the problem for Buckley. You know, he's a big threat offensively, but really tough for him when he gets caught down in the key like that, because it is a mismatch with pretty much everyone else on the other team.
Yeah, and they make the change. Clayton's back in for Merlin. Lambert can't hit the first one. But they do get the second to go. Buckley facing 2 now. Does get it over half. Snaking through the pressure. Crocker corner 3. Can't hit that one. Here's Brun against O'Rourke. Connors driving baseline. Rennie meets him at the top and blocks him. Rennie driving now. Into the back of Brun through the contact and finishes. And Buckley almost gets a steal off the inbound. O'Rourke. Oh, gets the board there. Pull up 3, Rennie. No good. Crocker there almost stealing it away from Schmerda. And they get Rennie on the foul. Connor seemed out of control in the air.
Yeah, that's...
Normally when you leave your feet and you're in the air and you're out of control in the pass,
yeah,
if your defender's stationary and you hit them, that's normally a charge.
Yeah, it's... yeah, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I'm as confused as you are on that one.
Connors looking for an option here. Goes up top to Byrne. Connors 3-ball. No good. Schmerda on the offensive glass, no good. Keddy, no good. O'Rourke pulls in the defensive rebound. Clayton. Kicks it to John Day down low. Buckley. Blocked by Schmerda. Clayton hustles back. And it's a great take by Schmerda, no good. Here's Connors up top now, 8 to work with. It's down to 5 on the shot clock here. Connors needs to put one up. Puts up a runner, and it's good from the baseline.
Yeah, good job by Connors there with only a second left on the shot clock.
And they're going to get Schmerda on the foul on the pass. A little aggressive on the closeout. So Blue Devils getting 20 to work with here. Handoff to Brennan Morris. Clayton. And Clayton gets pulled down on his way to the rim by Aiden Connors.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the fifth, or sorry, no, only the third. But yeah, the Seawolves with a couple of quick fouls there.
Morris looking for an option, having trouble to get it in. Does find O'Rourke. O'Rourke going to work against Ketty. And the ball's gonna stay down here with the Blue Devils. 8 on the shot clock. Morris comes up through the double screen, gets away from Brunn. Pull up, no good. Schmerda pulls it down. Brunn and Lambert on the breakout. Brunn gets it back to Schmerda. And Buckley's gonna pick up the blocking foul there, and it's gonna send Lambert to the line for 2.
Team's foul number 4, Buckley, his second, team 5th. Checking the game for the Blue Devils, number 11. Adam Lambert to the line to shoot 2.
Lambert makes the first, so lead down to 5 here again for the Blue Devils. And he makes the second, so it's only a 4-point game now. Merlin gets it up to Clayton. And ball hits Connors on its way out of bounds. Here's John Day. Merlin looking for a drive option. Lost it, but Morris cleans it up. Clayton, 4 to shoot. John Day now. Morris got to put one up here. He made it though, but it was after the shot clock had went off, so a good defensive stand from the Seawolves.
Yeah, Morris has got to be more aware of the shot clock on that one. Gets the ball, only has enough time to pull up a shot and instead drives it to the lane.
Clayton matching him full court now. It's Connors. And it goes off the foot of Clayton. Quickly into Lambert. Lambert through a bunch of contact, gets it to go. So just like that, UNBSJ have whittled it down to 33-31. Clayton pulls it out. Double cross against Thier. Gets it to Merlin. Euro. 6 to shoot. Clayton puts up. And it's an and 1. Will they count as a 3 or a 2?
I think that should be a long 2, but we'll have to see.
They count as a long 2. Clayton follow-away jumper is good. Schmerda picks up the foul on that one. It's a possession-saving play from Clayton. Here's Brunn. Lambert dumps off to Thier, and Thier gets fouled on his way up, so he's going to the line for 2. And DeRuga and Crocker come back in for O'Rourke and John Day. Thier can't hit the first. Can't hit the second either. Clayton pulls it down. Clayton pull up 3. And he got fouled on the 3 by Tier.
Yeah, just an undisciplined foul there. You know, the shot's up, it's gone, and then just runs into the shooter. And he's going to send Clayton to the line for 3 free throws, which he really shouldn't have.
Yeah, and that's why you always work on your closeouts in practice. Don't hit the shooter when you're going by.
Yeah, and you know, like in a close game, a 5-point game, it turns an empty possession into points here for the Blue Devils, and you know, it could be the difference between winning or losing.
And Clayton hits the first 2 here. And can't hit the second. Can't hit the third of the 3 of them. And offensive foul against Lambert. Merlin hit the deck hard. But he's all right though. Adam Lambert picks up his first, and Lucas Stevenson wants a timeout to drop the last 44 seconds here.
Yeah, and you know, 44.3 remaining in this one. Not too much has really separated either of these two teams through the first half. You know, a pretty close game between two fairly evenly matched teams. And I really think that it's just going to come down to the small things in this one. It's going to come down to, you know, cutting out those empty waste possessions, cutting out the undisciplined turnovers and fouls, and just knocking down those shots. It's really going to come down to whichever team can do those little things better in this one. You really haven't seen either team dominate the other for any stretch of the game. It's been a really back and forth game. You know, the Blue Devils have been able to knock down a couple more of those shots and, you know, maybe not foul quite as much. But still time here for the Seawolves to try and cut this deficit as they go into the break. It'll be big to see. And, you know, on the other side of the ball, the Blue Devils with the inbound here, they do have a chance to try and make this a double-digit lead, which would, on the other hand, be big for them going into the break.
Merlin gets it up to Clayton. Crocker. Deruga comes on the screen for Morris. Merlin looking to drive, try to go over the top to Deruga. Here comes Tier. Left it short. Brun left it short as well. And the Blue Devils got one shot.
Yeah, that's just a killer for the Seawolves, missing 2 layups, which they really should have got.
Morris against Lambert. 8 to go. Merlin's got to put up something here. 5, 4. Merlin fall away 2. He's got it. What a shot by Merlin to end the first half. And just like that, it's 40-31. A pretty similar scoreline heading into the half here, like the first game we saw.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I was talking about it just 44 seconds ago, talking about, you know, which team can cut out those mistakes, make more of those baskets, they're going to win. And I think that was illustrated quite well. You see the Seawolves come down missing 2 easy layups, which they really should have got. Blue Devils come down the other way, and just a nice little play from Ethan Merlin to give them the basket, and hey, they extend their lead.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams fighting hard here in the Kingdome. Halftime is upon us. We will be back in 12 minutes or so here to join you for the second half of action. Welcome back to second half action here in the Kingdome here in Halifax between the UNBSJ Seawolves and your University of King's College Blue Devils.
Yeah,
Blue Devils hold a narrow lead, 40-31. What are your takeaways from the first half, Dylan?
Yeah, it's really going to come down to who can limit mistakes in this one. You know, a pretty close contest, and I talked about that after the end of the first half. Two pretty evenly matched teams here. It's really going to come down to who can limit the fouls, knock down more of those open looks, and just stay disciplined. Not, you know, I think we saw some of those undisciplined fouls in the first half. Whoever can cut those out, give the other team less trips to that charity stripe. And yeah, whichever team can get hot, knock down some baskets. Let's see if either team can really get on a roll here in this half, because we really didn't see any of that in the first.
No, you're right. It took teams a little bit to get rolling, but we know once they do, they can stay rolling. Blue Devils come into the half with Morris, O'Rourke, Merlin, Rennie, and Clayton. Seawolves come out with Connors, Lambert, Brun, Schmerda, and Harris. Nash, I should say. Brun, top of the key here. Lambert in the corner against Rennie. Side of the backboard from Lambert. Rennie brings it up the court here. Looking for the screen from O'Rourke. O'Rourke backing Lambert down. Kicks out Clayton. Pull up two. No good. Brun hangs on for a couple seconds. Make sure he got his guys. Here's Connors. Just lost it out of bounds on his way to the rim.
Yeah, and you know, that's one of those unforced turnovers I was just talking about. An empty possession there for the Seawolves.
Here's Morris now. Rennie drops it to Merlin. O'Rourke stops it. Merlin now. Look for a dump off. And they're going to get Schmerda on the foul for hanging around O'Rourke's ankles.
Yeah, and that's the third already for Schmerda. Not too much left for him to give in this game.
Here's Rennie. Got Brun in the air on the three. He went back door. Rennie's going to pull it this time. Straight and true from Caleb Rennie.
Yeah, I've been pretty impressed with Rennie in this game, and another nice play there.
And good stand by Rennie down the other end, and he wins the ball from Brun.
Wow, and that's 100% Caleb Rennie right there.
Caleb Rennie with the beautiful hustle play. Down the other end. Merlin. Rennie. Back to back. No good. Down the other end, Clayton gets it blocked out of bounds by Connors.
Can't get it to go, but what a play that was on the ground by Caleb Rennie, just outworking the opposition and giving the Blue Devils yet another possession. In a close game, I was talking about it, it's going to come down to the small things, and Rennie showing that in this one.
Rennie pulls one there. And
I think that's going to be a foul against Connors.
There was a foul that was called. They didn't signal who it was on yet. It's on red 5. That's Connors. Merlin quickly into O'Rourke. Back in the corner. Two go to him. Merlin, one-hand hook over the top is good.
Yeah, nice look there from Merlin.
Connors down the other end against O'Rourke. Lost it on the ground. Gets it back. Shot up over O'Rourke is no good. And Caleb Rennie hugs it.
Yeah, another rebound there for Caleb Rennie.
He's had quite a start to the second half here.
Yeah, absolutely. Has come firing out on all cylinders.
O'Rourke against Nash. Gets his own miss. That's lunch money every single time.
Yeah, and that's a classic Ethan O'Rourke play. Just sticks with it, and big rebound, big 2 points.
Clayton switches on. O'Rourke's now on Brunn. Austin Brunn looking for options here. Fall away from the elbow is no good. Schmurda hanging around, almost cashed in.
I think that's a third rebound for Rennie already in the opening minutes of this quarter.
Yeah, he's been playing very well coming out of the half here. Clayton, 3-ball. Kaboom! That was good. The second it left his hand, there was no doubt about it. Blue Devils stretch it out to 19 early here in the third. And just like that, a 10-point swing out of the half leaves the Seawolves on the launch pad.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is with these Seawolves this afternoon and not getting out to a good start in the third quarter. In the women's game earlier, the women didn't get a point until 7 minutes through that third quarter. Well, 3 and change gone here, and Seawolves still haven't got one to go. Yeah, and on the other hand, the Blue Devils looking really impressive. The sort of offensive production that you know that they can get, and I've personally been waiting for throughout this whole season, getting good looks, knocking down shots, some great plays from Caleb Rennie, Sandreas Clayton playing very well as well. Yeah, getting some points from around the board, good ball movement as well. It's been all Blue Devils to start this third quarter. If you're the Seawolves, really need to get those first points, break the ice, and get things going here, because find yourselves down by 19 now.
Here's Connors with it. Gets past Morris, dumps it off to Nash. And Caleb Rennie gets called on the foul up in the air. No lack of effort this half from Rennie.
No, he's been phenomenal, and sometimes you're going to take a foul when you are going up hard, and tough one for Rennie, but he's had a very impressive start to this quarter.
That's Rennie's third. Nash gets them both to go, so lead down to 17 now. Merlin gets to Morris. Back to Merlin. Clayton calling for it in the corner. O'Rourke underneath. Beautiful team play. Horse and O'Rourke cashing in on the movement.
Gorgeous give and go right there.
Brunn wide open. Cashes in from 3.
It's going to be a long 2. Oh no, it will be 3. I thought his foot was on the line.
It did look like it, but the official had a better angle on it. O'Rourke underneath now, kicks out. Quick swing, Morris, corner 3. And he gets called on the travel.
That's a tough one there, where maybe you just need to catch and shoot.
Here comes Lambert, full head of steam downhill. Nash now, looking to drive. Good take by A.J. Nash.
Yeah, and the Seawolves starting to figure things out on offense here.
Rennie, skip pass. Morris gets it back for 3. Cashes in from deep. Brendan Morris. O'Rourke and Rennie head out. John Day and Crocker return.
Yeah, and we haven't seen too much of John Day today. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do now.
Here's Connors. Brun came off the screen well. Connors just looking downhill himself. Good hand from Clayton to rip it away. Jonde down low against Brun. Kick out Morris, Merlin, Clayton gets it over to Morris. Morris on the drive, Brun with the block, and again, Austin Brun up top twice. Nash. Good take from AJ Nash. Jonde inside, nice left-hand finish for Jevon Jonde. Here's Lambert in the middle now. Clayton stands tall. Morris back to Clayton, wide open up top, no good. Here's Connors now. And foul on the shot. Connors going to line. Brun's going to line for 2. Buckley and Osgorin back in the game. Morris and Clayton will take a break. Brun gets a second to go, so lead down to 13 here now. Crocker thought about it. Osgorin, corner 3. Alp Osgorin for 3.
Yeah, really nice look and some good ball movement there for the Blue Devils.
Connors driving heavy. Nash now against Jonde. And they get Nash on the travel. Nash confused, said he was still dribbling the ball. It looked like it, but sometimes all it takes is a couple of steps. Osgorin, high kick pass to Merlin. Crocker hanging in the middle of the paint wide open, didn't see him. They get it to Crocker in the corner now. Merlin driving, Buckley. Kings looking for options here. Merlin wide open for 3, can't hit. Osgorin draws the contact and he's going to the line for 2. 1, I should say, finishes the bucket.
Yeah, and some really good rebounding today from the Blue Devils. There's another good example of it. And yeah, it's going to be 2 and possibly 3 points going the other way. The Seawolves have done a bit of a better job. They've got the offense going a little bit here, but the Blue Devils have been able to keep that offensive momentum going and are looking in a pretty good spot right now.
Crocker against Schmerda now. Schmerda underneath draws the contact. He's going to the line for 2. So very quickly, the Seawolves get up and down. Jonde picks up his 3rd. Schmerda hits the 1st. And he hits the 2nd. 3:08 left here in the 3rd quarter. Kings lead 62-46. Buckley against Brun. Inside to Jonde. Jonde gets doubled. And they're going to get Brun on the aggressive dig. Brun picks up his 4th.
Yeah, and he's been definitely one of the better players for the Seawolves today. Not ideal to have him at 4 this early.
And there's no movement from the bench. Jonde with the Euro almost gets it to go. And Osgorin going to get called for the riding foul. Osgoren picks up his first, so that's going to send Adam Lambert to the line for 2. Lambert hits the first. And he hits the second as well. Buckley gets it to Crocker. Knew it wasn't good right away. Here comes Lambert now, full head of steam. Working against Osgoren. Finds Schmerda underneath. Good cut by Schmerda. Cuts the lead down to 12. Here's Osgoren now. Buckley maneuvers. Connors blocks it. Buckley gets it back. 10 on the shot clock. And here comes Connors now, pushing up to Lambert. Lambert's going to pull one from 3. No good. Crocker pulls it down. Skip pass out Buckley. Crocker.
Yeah, that's a couple times now that they've got Crocker running before the dribble. Unfortunate because it was a good idea, but
it was a great move at first, but yeah. Merlin and Crocker are going to go to the bench now. And ball goes off of Nash's hand, so that's going to stay or go to the Blue Devils. Here comes Buckley. Hand off to Clayton. Hand off. Clayton hesitates, drives, kicks. Osgoren for 3. Goes wide on that one. Lambert corner kick. Brunn. Hand off to Schmerda. All the way to the rim, and they're going to get Morris on the after contact, I believe. And it does go on Brendan Morris. Osgoren's going to come out here for O'Rourke. Schmerda hits the first. And he hits the second as well. So just like that, over the course of a couple minutes, the Seawolves have cut it back down to 10. Sandreas now. Pull up 3 from Clayton, in and out. O'Rourke gets it ripped away by Nash. And it's Lambert on the break, does corral it, and they're going to get Buckley on the reach around. So that's going to send Adam Lambert to the line with 36.5 left. Lambert hits the first, so it's back down to single digits now. It's been a slow grinder, but the Seawolves have made their way back.
Yeah, no real big string of points, but just getting more baskets to fall and cutting that lead down to a much more manageable position right now.
And Lambert on the break does finish. He falls into the stands.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a tough game for Jean Day, and another one right there.
And it's picked up by Lambert again. And they get Morris on the after contact. So just like that, Adam Lambert picking up a chunk of points here at the end of the third.
Two, quite frankly, lazy plays from the Blue Devils. Like, just gifting points to the Seawolves and just allowing them to get themselves back into this one. The Blue Devils were up by like 20 points in this quarter. Well, that's down to just 4 now. And the Seawolves didn't even get a basket until like 4 minutes into the quarter.
Buckley's gonna have to put one up. Pulls up a fall away, can't go. And just like that, Blue Devils shot it out to 19 at one point, but slowly and surely, the Seawolves have fought their way back.
Yeah, I've really had to rethink my post-quarter comments here after the last couple of minutes. I was getting ready to say the Blue Devils were playing great, but the Seawolves really coming back in those last couple of minutes, getting more of those loose balls, knocking down more shots, being more disciplined, not taking those reach-in fouls. Yeah, and head coach Luke Stevenson is not happy with the troops, and definitely has reason to. Not a very good way to end what should have been a very dominant third quarter. Instead, they see that lead evaporate and are barely up now. I talked about it at the half. You need to cut down those silly mistakes, the undisciplined mistakes. Blue Devils have done a great job of it early in the quarter, but those last 2 or 3 minutes or so did not do a very good job of that whatsoever. But if you're Peter Vincent and the Seawolves, got to be really happy with what you saw those last couple of minutes, really jumping on those opportunities that the Blue Devils gave them and done a great job of getting themselves back within just 4 points here. And I'm not sure who has the inbound here, but they could very quickly cut this down to one possession game. But another thing we talk about, and often the Blue Devils are on the other side of this, but Blue Devils do have a bigger bench than their counterparts, the Seawolves, today. It'll be interesting to see if that depth off the bench is going to make an impact, especially when we consider, guys like Connors and Brunn are, starting to get into foul trouble. It'll be interesting to see how the Seawolves manage that.
Buckley gets us started here. O'Rourke off to Buckley. Buckley pull up, no good. John Day with the offensive board. But Connors pokes it away. Good chase down, block by Givon.
Yeah, that's just a hustle play right there to keep 2 points off the board.
Morris driving now. Kicks out Clayton. Swings at John Day, 3. And Givon connects from deep. Schmerda now. Off to Lambert. Looking for options. It's Connors who comes off the curl cut. Clayton pulls it in. Here comes Morris driving. John Day again. Not this time. And the Seawolves get it mixed up on the rebound. Goes off of Schmerda. Morris dumps it underneath to Clayton. Buckley, 3-ball long. John Day gets it in. Clayton for 3. Kaboom! Sandreas Clayton.
Yeah, and a couple of big baskets there by the Blue Devils, and they're back out to a 10-point lead now.
Bruin on the inside against O'Rourke. Can't finish. John Day pulls it in.
And that's not the first time Brunn's just missed a layup today. I don't know what's going on there.
O'Rourke looking to go against Brun now in the post. Taking him to work down low. Buckley, his three. Off the backboard, off the rim, and out.
Tough one for Buckley.
Lambert looking to move quickly. Nash swings out Brun. He's already hit one today. Can he hit a second? No. Buckley pulls it in. Looking for a screen from O'Rourke, and he gets it. O'Rourke, elbow jumper. He's got that one to go. Corson O'Rourke. Here's Connors now. King stretches the lead back out to 12. Good ball movement here by the Seawolves. Lambert, deep one, no good. Clayton pulls it in. Blue Devils can extend their lead here.
Yeah, a good job by the Blue Devils after seeing that lead evaporate, have extended it here early in the fourth.
Here's Buckley. Kicks over John Day. Drives, O'Rourke picks up the miss. That's a hard swipe by Nash that works out, but Clayton misses the sitter. Lambert going all the way to the rim, draws the foul against Buckley. He's going to the line for two. And that's Buckley's fourth. We haven't seen Brun come off at all since he picked up his fourth. He's been really good, but he picked that up midway through the third.
Well, not quite midway. I think there was 3 minutes left, but yes, the point stands. He's done a good job of staying out of foul trouble, but struggled offensively on the other side.
$70-60 here in favor of the hometown Blue Devils. Rennie sends it over, gets it back. Isolated in and out, takes it to the rim, no good. Brun tips it away. Roberts. Lambert draws the contact against Deruga, and he's going to the line for two again.
Yeah, and you know, the Blue Devils were having a great start to this quarter, but the last couple possessions have taken a couple of not great fouls. And once again, giving the Seawolves a chance to get themselves back in it.
Lambert hits the second as well. And so leads back down to 8. Tried to dump it inside to John Day, but good recovery from Schmerda to get back. Look for an option. And it's going to be a jump ball, Deruga and Schmerda. O'Rourke and Crocker return for John Day and Deruga. Lambert in and out step back doesn't get him anywhere. Up top now against O'Rourke. He wants to go to work. And O'Rourke holds down the fort and forces an air ball at a Lambert. And it's a great back cut, but good anticipation from Brun.
Yeah, and then a blocking foul going to be called against Caleb Rennie there.
And I believe that's Rennie's fourth. Rennie was planted. The only answer there is the correct one, and that is he was in the circle.
Yeah, and 5 and change left in this one. Blue Devils have an 8-point lead. You really get the sense that if they can keep the offensive consistency going, that they have this one, but need to be able to keep getting those baskets to drop or figure something out on defense because the Seawolves are coming back now.
Here's Brun up top. Robertson kicks it. Connors, three, in and out. And somehow the ball ended up with Brun on the ground, but Blue Devils do have it now. Clayton. Swing past Merlin. And Merlin gets contact going to the rim. He's going to the line for two now.
Yeah, and you know, the Seawolves have done a very good job of staying out of foul trouble throughout this quarter, but as time winds down, it'll be interesting to see if the Blue Devils can get Brun or Connors or Schmerda off the floor.
Merlin can't hit the first one. Merlin hits the second. And Buckley's going to come in for Merlin here. Buckley is playing on 4, so he's another guy to watch out for. Schmerda. Up to Brun. Brun. Catch, fire, off to the right. Here comes Buckley now. Exactly halfway through the quarter now. Buckley turning the corner quickly, no good.
Oh, that is a tough foul against Schmerda.
Schmerda picks up the foul. He's trying to argue when straight up, but you're not straight up if you put your knee into Buckley's back.
Well, I mean, I really, yeah. And yeah, as you mentioned, Braden, just under 5 minutes left in this one, and you know, I mentioned it a second ago that the Blue Devils were going to need to keep the offense going, but the Seawolves definitely not putting a ton of pressure on them. Really haven't been super strong offensively tonight, and same can be said for the fourth quarter. 9-point deficit. I think if you're the Blue Devils, you just need to stay disciplined, not make any silly mistakes, not try and force any baskets. Move that ball around, look for opportunities to drive to the net, look for those open shots, and they'll be all set.
Morris to inbound on the baseline here. Crocker has it. Back to Morris. Quick trigger, corner three. He's got it. What a three from Morris, pushing the lead back to 12. Connors now in the front court against Clayton. There's the drive by Connors against Crocker. Clayton picks it up. Connors gets it back, 3-ball, no good. O'Rourke pulls it in. Here comes Buckley. Driving past Roberts, and he lays it in. Schmerda now against Crocker, driving, finishing. 76-64. Buckley over the top. Clayton gonna pull the three, no good. Lambert pushing, trying to go around O'Rourke, drawing the contact against him, and Lambert's going back to the line for two.
Yeah, and Lambert's done a good job all night of just going downhill when he gets the ball off the fast break, really taking it really hard to the hoop, and draws a foul there from O'Rourke.
That's O'Rourke's first foul of the match, so there's no need to worry about him for now.
Yeah, and you know, for a guy who plays the type of game that O'Rourke does, kind of surprising to not get into more foul trouble, but a good solid game from O'Rourke tonight.
Lambert hits the second, so lead back to 10. Buckley working against the press now, just picks up the foul on Connors.
And that's going to be his fourth?
It's only Connors' third.
No, only his third.
Morris tried to come through. Brun anticipated, got it into O'Rourke. Backdoor dump to Crocker, and he gets fouled by Connors. And that's going to be Connors' fourth now.
Yeah, and a tough one there for Connors, and he will stay in the game, but a few players for SJ on the floor now on 4 fouls.
And Crocker hits them both. 78-66, 3:37 to go. Brun. Schmerda, 3-ball, no good. Morris pulls it in. Ball moves to the backcourt for the inbound now. Crocker now up top. Morris looking to work against Robertson. Kicks out Buckley, went through his legs. 6 seconds to go. Buckley's got to put up something. Goes over the top of Robertson. What a finish by Xavier Buckley.
Yeah, really nice play there by Buckley.
Lambert driving. And it's a great defensive stand from Clayton. Crocker show and go. Crocker called for the offensive foul. That was really close to being inside the circle.
Yeah, that's as close as they get.
(80-66), 2:40 to go here. Run, it goes right through his hands. Schmerda can't get there in time.
Yeah, you know, 2:30 left in this one. Seawolves down by 14, can't afford any unforced turnovers like that.
Here's Buckley now. Rennie, skip pass to Clayton. Crocker thought about throwing it. He decides to hold on to it. Buckley. What a layup against the outstretched arm of Austin Brun.
Yeah, and some really key baskets down the stretch here from Xavier Buckley.
Connors inside, no good. Rennie pulls it in. 2 minutes to go here now.
Yeah, and some great rebounding this afternoon and evening from Caleb Rennie.
And they get Crocker on the travel.
Yeah, and I think that's the third time that's happened to Crocker. They're really calling that tight.
And DeRuga comes in now. Here comes Lambert, under 2 minutes to go now. And they try to find him, no good, but they find Brun. Schmerda driving against O'Rourke. Has to fall away on the jumper, no good. Lambert pulls it in and finishes.
Yeah, no need to rush here now if you're the Blue Devils. Just try and take as as much time off of that clock as you can.
And that hits Seawolf on the way through, so 82-68. Blue Devils hoping to wrap this one up. Clayton throws it right into the arms of Brun. Here he comes. Brun goes out of his way to make contact with Rennie, and he's going to the line for 2. Coach Stevenson just called for timeout, so he'll shoot the free throws when they come back from that, because that's going to be Rennie's 5th.
Yeah, it's a tough one for Caleb Rennie, but luckily comes at a time where Blue Devils can afford it. 1:21 left in this one, 82-70 for the Blue Devils, and you know they've definitely been the better team in this one.
Yeah, so that's going to do it for Rennie for today. He had a very good third quarter, helped propel them out by 19. Unfortunately for him, he's not going to be able to see this one out on the court, but he will get to close this one out, hopefully with a win in the win column.
Yeah, it's certainly looking like that as of right now, and yeah, 5 fouls for Rennie, but you know, in soccer we call it getting stuck in, and I think that's what Rennie did in this one. She played tough, played hard near that basket, and yeah, he did pick up 5 fouls in the end, but on the way to that got, you know, at least 5 rebounds, I believe, and some good couple threes, couple layups. He had a really solid game here for the Blue Devils, and a big part of the reason why they're looking to wrap this one up.
So Brun goes to the line, 1:21 remaining.
And yeah, and Austin Brun has been on 4 fouls now for over a quarter, and I don't know if he's come off in that time.
No, but he's certainly managed them quite well. John Day comes back in for Buckley, and they're going to get Connors on the blocking foul, and that's going to be it for him.
Yeah. You know, perhaps trying to make something happen, but especially when you're going up against someone you've got a couple inches on, you can't really give them the shoulder quite like that.
And Nash is going to come back to the game.
For the Seawolves, number 9, AJ Nash. Xavier Buckley the line to shoot 2.
Buckley hits the first, so that pushes it back to 12. And that pushes it to 13. Lambert now. Kicks it to Schmerda. Schmerda's 3 is good.
Yeah, beautiful shot there from Schmerda.
They get it to Buckley. John Day. Back to Buckley. Snaking through the pressure. Very well done. O'Rourke's going to pull the 2, come up short. And Deruga gets called on the push foul.
Yeah, and you know, not too much time left, only 52.6, but an opportunity here for the Seawolves to put a couple points on the board without taking any seconds off the clock. And you know, we have seen crazier things in the Kingdom.
And Brun hits that one, so it's back down to 8. Buckley snaking away from a bunch of Seawolves here. Crocker takes the pressure. Lambert got a hand to it, so Buckley can pick it up. Gets it up to John Day, 10 seconds. Gets it down to O'Rourke. And Buckley hits it after the foul.
UNBSJ foul number 23, Ewan Robertson, his 3rd. Corson O'Rourke to the line to shoot 2.
can't make the first.
It's all right, 32.6 remaining. Blue Devils with an 8-point lead here.
Yeah, and a
O'Rourke
good-
just looking to push this one to 3 possessions, and he does.
Yeah, and it was a good job by the Blue Devils there to kill a good 20 seconds off the clock on that possession.
Lambert's got to shoot one here. You got to go quick if you're the Seawolves. Schmerda, deep one, no good. O'Rourke pulls it in. And Buckley gets wrapped up by Nash, and that's going to send him to the line with 18 seconds left.
Yeah, and you know, if it wasn't iced already, the chance here for Buckley to win this one. He didn't get a ton of points early on in this one, but really got better as the game went along and got a lot of nice baskets here in the fourth quarter.
And he does make the first, so that pushes it back to a 4-possession game now with 18 remaining. And he can't hit that one. Clayton does get it to clean it up, and with 15.7. And they get Schmerda on the travel, and that's going to wrap this one up.
Yeah, and a really big game for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, pick up the win on the second half of the weekend. Tough loss to Crandall yesterday, but they bounced back for their second win of the year here in the Kingdome at home. They beat the Seawolves twice on the season to move to 2-7. 88-76 here from the Kingdome. Good game for the boys.
Yeah, a real solid game from the Blue Devils. You see 88 points. Really consistent offensively, you know, throughout the game. Just kept putting up points throughout the night, kept drawing those fouls. It was a really good game. Tough one for the Seawolves. Just didn't do a good enough job of limiting those turnovers, unforced mistakes. But yeah, at the end of it, a really big win for the Blue Devils, this program, and head coach Luke Stevenson.
Absolutely. And like we said about the girls' game, they'll be here. Holland's coming to town again on the Saturday, February 4th at 3 p.m. So tune in then. That's the next time you'll be able to see the Blue Devils at home. But they will be on the road a lot this second semester, so be sure to tune in to watch them then. My name is Braden Redshaw on the play-by-play. Alongside me, Dylan Alec and Maria Collins. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
Has James showed you the uploading